Can anybody hear me now? Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. Hello! Hi Melinda. Hiya Darren. Hey Darren, how come yous aren't live? Hey, Melinda can hear us. Oh, better turn the TV down. Off. Hiya Liz. Hi Melinda. Hi Darren. So Darren, why aren't yous live? Seeing there's nobody else on, I thought, right, I'm slightly bored and, well, not really bored. Is the picture shown on yours? Because on my thing it's not. Hi Ian. Yes, Michelle is here. Oh crap, wait, mute it again. Steve Dave isn't about to do the show. Well, why don't you just come on here? And why couldn't you do it anyway? You could jump in here if you want. I'll get VC on. I'm not broadcasting through VC at the minute. But, yeah. Oh crap, wait, mute it again. Yeah, okay. Haha, very funny.
Is it about?
Oh, I found my juice. Yep, dream. Yeah, look. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, thanks to my lovely son and his lovely girlfriend, Ryan and Charlotte, for the mod, and thank you to my lovely girlfriend sitting beside me over there for the armadillo from Crazy. What was it?
Dimmy.
Yeah, from Dimmy.
Crazy Dumper.
Dimmy, Crazy Dumper Vapor. Did you guys do the Vape Lounge show last night? I waited up to watch it on here, but yeah, we did do it last night. What did you actually do so I actually can hear you tonight? I don't know. I think it's VC plays about. This is not through VC tonight. This is just straight through. And Melinda, the show was on, but it's on Vape Lounge NI, not my review channel.
Sure, some people said they didn't get the notification. I remember somebody saying that last night. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah. What did you do with your sound? We can actually hear you tonight. I haven't a clue with this bloody snowball. It takes fits and starts to when it wants to play and when it doesn't want to play.
Probably just
So it is probably VC because it's looking perfect. What time is it on? I've subscribed to both, but nothing. We went live at 9 o'clock last night, back to our normal time of Sundays at 9 o'clock. Myself, Michelle, and Bunny. We had no guests on last night. We just did a show amongst ourselves. But yeah, and he's can blame Sainty for this. Sainty said to me to go lives on my own channel, so it's all his fault. So if he hasn't even come in. So if he does come in, you can blame him.
You need to make Liz a mod. I've got you, girl.
Put her in a timeout.
No.
Yeah, because I didn't have any mods in this channel. But not like I'm going to need anybody to mod for, because... Here, hang on a minute. Have I got any thumbs down yet? I kept waiting to about 10 o'clock. Do you go live here on YouTube or not? Good evening, Gav. We go live on YouTube. Last week we went live on Facebook, but that was only because YouTube was being a spaz and not letting us broadcast on there. So we just went, nah. A brew, Bunny. Ah, so it could be Bunny on Brew's account, or it could be Brew on Brew's account. We will never know. Hiya, Manic. Just gone a wee bit live. Hiya, Rog. Royand. That's a new name for me. Royand.
It's Oi.
One thumbs down now, just in case you're feeling. Ah, thanks, Darren. Yeah. So tonight I'm on my what's it called again? Topside Duel. Evening Village with the armadillo on top.
Just ask Village what it's called.
And the juice that I'm on is this Dream Cream from Charlie's Chalk Dust. Believe it or not, Michelle, you and I really need to have a chat about books and authors.
I need to start reading again, to be fair. I've not read in so long.
What's books and authors coming out now?
She likes the same sort of books that I do, like fantasy, adulty bookies.
Oh, fantasy adult bookie. Oh, that's different. That's a different story. Kieran, close your ears. Yeah. Adult fantasy books. Should I be worried?
Yeah, vampires and stuff. Oh, they get raunchy.
Oh, vampires. That's not too bad.
And werewolves and
50 Shades of
witches.
Grey.
No, they're rubbish.
So, what's the lovely people in chat vaping on? Anything interesting? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Happy Me Pod Monday. No. Okay, fine. I'm on camera with my crazy messed up hair.
I have so many genres I love.
Share reader.
Oh, Michelle's seen my collection, or some of my collection of books.
They're so boy books.
Northern Ireland, War, Northern Ireland, War, Manchester United. Yay, lovely Michelle. Yeah, so I was going to record a review this evening, but I had to go round to my mummy's and daddy's house and sort out a few things for them. Village, nothing new yet. Emphasis on the yet.
Hey Ryan.
Hey Ryan. I'm vaping on my new Aspire Relax kit. Not a bad setup.
Ooh, the Zeus X, how are you finding that? It's a good day.
Zeus X on my second legend.
Ooh, strawberry gummies. I need to get some strawberry laces again.
Linda's still vaping on the Kelpie on top of the RX2 with Hype Juice's R Drive.
Oh, my Kelpie's downstairs.
Yeah, the Kelpie's a really good tank. I was surprised and not surprised at the same time.
I'm so glad you said you weren't going to steal it then.
But yeah, no, I've got this now, so I'm happy. Although, in saying that, I did get a message today to say that he's not in. Bill's not in. The Revo will be in this week, and then it'll be coming out to me. So whatever length of time then it takes to get from China to here. So I'll have the Revo coming up. Got the M25 Vitality on the Minikin V2 Strawberry Milkshake. How observant Roy is not to notice the first person in was his son.
Oh yeah. Well, you're terrible.
It bounced the chat. I do apologise, Ryan. The chat bounced up and I didn't see that, so my apologies, because on my screen, on the stream screen, I'm getting the Wheel of Death, spinny Wheel of Death, but it's saying that the stream is live with a green stream hills and it's not dropped any frames whatsoever. So when I do get the Revo in, folks, I am going to go live the day that I get it in. I am going to go live on my channel and do an unboxing of it. Put your fucking glasses on, Bunny. Shush. I am going to do an unboxing of it live and just go quickly over the different features on it and everything else. It's not going to be a review. It's not even going to be anything. It'll just be, this is it, this is what it does, this is the bits, blah 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 blah, and then use it, and then for a week or so, and then do a review. So Linda, my bookshelves contain books from Anglo-Saxon, The Dream of Rood, to the 14th century, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, and Old English to Shakespeare. I have also Homer's Odyssey, and you see, Melinda, my history is quite centric to either the Knights Templar. Oh, that was not me. Oh, now she's just trying to mess with us because Bonnie's just come in on her mobile phone to try and pretend it wasn't me. My bookshelves contain Game Gear.
Do you know what? If I had bookshelves, I would too, right?
Ryan,
Not gonna lie. I've got drawers.
That works so well. And talking about vape gear, Ryan, now that you're doing these weird shifts and you're getting lots of days off, when are we going to see more reviews?
Sure, I should just come onto this live.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be tired. He's been up since 3:45 or 4:45 or something. 4:45.
Yeah, it's like midnight to me still.
Yeah. Ben Reed, Hiya, Ben.
Token.
What is your views on the Drag Nano? My views on the Nano are non-existent because I haven't actually used one, seen one, but by all accounts, from what I've heard, people are saying avoid.
I saw them in the shop today.
Basically, to avoid, there's much better pod systems out there. Much better pod systems out there.
Might get another new pod at some point.
Oh, money stuck too. That would be one of them. I would say would probably would beat it.
That one too.
The Me Pod.
That's good. Good flavour.
The Mido. But the Mido's slightly different because it doesn't use the Nano. From what I can gather, it uses stock coils, doesn't it?
No, that's the wee pod thing. It's pretty much. It's not like this, but it kind of.
Ben loves the wee AVP. That's what Bunny likes it. Oh, there he is.
That's your second
there he
name
is.
now. Look, Roy Michelle.
Hi, yes, Saint.
Hey, Saint. How's it going?
How are you, sir? You told me to do more lives on my channel, so that's what I'm sort of doing. It's one of these things. Drag Nano, avoid tightest hook and the device that's causing it, not the pods. There you go. Oh, and finally, built on my Grim Green Recoil Rebel on my
Shikra. Oh, I love that name, Shikra.
But effing time. AVP is awesome. Vupu Nano was a disappointment. So there you go, Ben. Yeah, there's ones there who've actually used it and everything else and know a little bit more about the Nano. I'll be honest, I don't own a Vupu product at all.
Actually, I don't either.
So I'm not the best person. And so I don't know if you heard, but the Revo is coming. Will be getting sent out to me this week. So I will be doing a live on it, a live unboxing, going over the features and things like that, and then doing the review on it.
Orion. Nice.
You see, Ryan.
Ryan with the Orion.
Ryan with the Orion. Now, all I can think of when someone says the Orion is a Ford Orion car.
See, I would never have got that.
And it's not anything against Vupu. I don't want anything Vupu. It's just I've never actually really fancied anything Vupu way before any of the. Oh, go get them sorted. Saint should be getting the Orion Q tomorrow.
Is that the one with the Yeehee chip in it, or just the standard one?
But if anybody does want to join in, does want to come on camera, they're quite welcome to come on camera. It's no biggie to get just set up to come on. It's the standard one he's getting. So I'll just make sure I have the right scene on there. Just nope, that's not that one. It's that one. Here, I should move myself off the dripper. Oh, wrong bit.
Off the dripper?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
There. You can see the dripper now. Mess with people's heads.
What dripper is that?
Don't know. It's not my picture. I have to log onto my PC if I want to join. Pod system don't need DNA. Pod system don't need a DNA chip in it. Waste of money.
I know, imagine that. It's like, what, 60, 70 quid just for a wee pod?
Yeah. And Ian, I owned an Orion for all of 2 weeks. Mind you, I bought it for 30 quid. That's when I went to live in Liverpool, and I bought it for 30 quid, and at the end of 2 weeks somebody offered me 200 quid for it. So I went.
Let's see what it looks like. What is it called?
Ford Orion.
Ford Orion.
Yeah. As Michelle goes looking up, it's the old. It was like it was the car in between a Ford Escort and a Ford Sierra.
Oh my god, that is such a boxy car.
Back then, all cars were boxy.
Look at
These cars are older than Michelle.
I remember when my dad had a Nissan Micra, like the boxy looking one.
Yeah, but they were great cars.
And then he got another one, the newer version that was more rounded.
Oh, you're so close. Time is running out. Finish your quests.
I'm playing that game.
I had Escorts at around that same time, at Ford Escorts. I found the Sierra much better. I love my Sierra. Boxy cars were better than the bloody bubble cars. Yeah.
That's what my dad had. Oh no, that was a newer version, I think.
See, Michelle's history in cars here, folks, is just
I
going
don't
back.
know anything about cars.
You know, all the cars that probably Ian and myself would sort of spout up would be now classed as classic cars. My first car, my very first car that I ever owned was a Triumph Acclaim.
Look how pink that one is.
There you go. There's a car for all you girls out there. Oh, there's the camera.
It's so pink.
Oh, it's Richard Hammond drives a pink Nissan Micra on thing.
Yeah, I like
My first car was only a year younger than me. I think most people's first cars were like well younger than I'd get.
that was the one my dad had.
Oh, but green.
I doubt it wasn't in green, it was red.
Oh, absolutely crap cars, Ian. But they looked the beans. Look up Ford Capri. Just don't type in Capri because you'll get completely different pictures.
I don't want to know how you know that.
Because Capri was a model whenever Ian and I were younger.
Sure. Oh my god, that's a...
The big bonnet.
That looks hideous. I'm sorry, but it does. Could you imagine?
My first car was an old Ford Fiesta. I had one of the old ones as well.
A wee feasty.
The visibility in the old Ford Fiestas was absolutely amazing. It was just like glass the whole way around.
Oh my god, look at that.
Those are amazing cars. Professionals drove them. Bodie and Doyle.
Who the heck are they?
Oh my god, no. No.
I don't even know who they are.
Michelle, get out. Yeah, exactly.
What?
Mark II Escort, yes, Bonnie. Mark II Escort.
Right, let's
Or the RS 200.
Mark
2 Escort.
Escort. Wait, Ford.
Yeah.
Let's not just type that in.
But I think one of my epic all-time favourite cars from that sort of era would have been the RS 500.
Actually, that's not too bad a looking car.
That's for a really old car, but they're epic cars. And the RS 200 had the glass in the panel, but the RS 500 was an immense car. RS Cosworth 500, RS 500 Cosworth, with its big, massive wing on it.
I want one of them. Can you imagine me in one of those?
Yeah, Michelle, she just typed in monster truck, peoples.
There's the one for Bunny, look.
Oh, Bunny, are you looking at the cam? We found you a perfect monster truck. Monster shark, do, monster shark. Wait for it, the 20-second delay, and then wait for it.
Oh man. Monster truck.
Liz goes laughing.
Oh my god, look at that one.
Bonnie's gone into spasms at this present moment in time and can't even type. She'll be like...
It's probably just like... There was the twitches. Oh.
Do you want me to go and get the... Do you want me to go and get the cuddly toys?
No, baby's sleeping. No.
I'd go and get the cuddly toys.
Cars.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have some nice new shinies to review. I'm going to do a review on the top side as well, even though it's been out for absolute ages and every man and his dog has reviewed it.
You can review anything you like.
But it's still going to review because it's still current.
There's still a market for old vapes. Like, I don't get some reviewers are like, oh, I'm not reviewing that because it's like 4 weeks old already or something. You're like, no, just.
I can understand the ones who want to get things out quickly.
Yeah, but there's still markets for the not so old stuff.
My dream car is 1971 Holden HQ Monaro GTS. Yeah,
Holden HQ.
you can't half tell that Melinda's Australian. Holden.
They get the good cars over there.
No.
You're so mean.
The only things the Australians ever did, sort of semi-right, was doing utes.
Right, what is it called?
Blame Joe Dingle.
Oh shit, 1971 Holden HQ Monaro.
Yeah. Blame Joe Dingle for utes. D M O A.
Just remember them phrases you just showed me there ago. Mouth.
I'm not talking rubbish. I'm talking the truth. You are just going to. My God, those cars are beautiful, and man, could they go?
Oh my God! Actually, that's quite a beast. Look at that one.
It's a beast.
It looks like them off what do you call it? Can't remember now.
Yeah, I would still kill for a DB5.
Them Hillybillies. What were they called?
I don't know. Aston Martin DB5. I could just kill for one of those.
Aston. How'd you spell?
ASTON.
TON.
MARTIN.
Okay, I know that.
DB5. D for Delta. B for
DB5.
Bravo. 5.
Actually, I do like that one.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of got an oldish look about
It
it.
is oldish, but look at that. Look at that. If it's good enough for James Bond, it's good enough for me.
Oh, James Bond drove that.
Yeah. That's the new.
DB10.
That's the It's the DB10.
That's like a Batmobile.
Yeah. If you can afford 250,000 quid.
Yep, buying it now. Add to basket.
If only. If only.
Hey, I just won the lottery. No, I'm kidding. I wish.
Rather the DB7. Ian, yeah, the DB7's nice, but the DB5's got character. If you're going for a DB7, you might as well have the DB9. It's got more comfort in it and everything else, and better gadgets. But if you're just going old school retro, then the DB5's better. I nearly bought, when I lived in England, I nearly bought a DB7, and the car was affordable. It was $9,500 to buy. Then I looked at how much it was actually going to take to keep it up in petrol. Driving back and forth to work every day, and it would have cost me about 350 quid a week in petrol.
Jesus.
It looks gorgeous, but they were very, very well known for breaking down. Yeah, but that's why if you're getting a DB5 now, you get one with the new engines and electrics in it. Basically, all it's kept in it is the shell. It gets the upgraded brakes, the upgraded engine, upgraded electronics, and it works like a dream, but costs you an absolute fortune. Here, I'm not doing too bad. I was up to 12 people at one stage. I'm down to 10 now. I love Aston Martin's beautiful cars. And if you ever get a chance to go for a tour round the Daventry factory of Aston Martin, take it. It is such a wonderful place to walk around. For me, I have a weakness for a E-Type Jag. Old school or the new one, Village, probably the old one, hopefully. And Saintry, the Shelby GT.
I like the old school minis when they were mini.
I mean, when you've had to fix John Deere's, nothing's more prone to breaking down than him. Yeah, that's why you should go for Massey's. Massey Ferguson's. Hell yes, Cindy, give me a honor. But RS Ian, no, you're just getting too old now. You're just getting too old. You just want a wee bit of you might as well go out and get a big Bentley or something like that and put a big armchair in it and sit in there now in your old age, look after those bones.
Ooh, a Bentley.
Old school, although I wouldn't say it to anyone. Did you watch Jeremy Clarkson's review on the E-Type Jag? He wasn't overly impressed with it. He likes the fact that you could drive 200 miles and not break down. That's the only thing he liked about it, I think. But the old school E-Type Jag is amazing. Oh, we're down to 9. We've lost another one.
Because we're talking about cars.
We're boring people talking about cars.
I actually miss that show now that you made me watch every week. I do miss it. It was quite a good crack.
What?
Whatever it was called. You know what I'm on about.
Yeah. Grand Tour.
That was funny.
Yes, Bunny, great cars. Yeah, the Grand Tour. It was an epic program. But Top Gear's actually looking not too bad. It's coming back on this year, and it's got some Andy Flintoff. I think is going to be quite good on it. Classic Marias in good nick or worse between 41 and 61.
Youch.
Their flying machine is great of them. Yeah, I know. It's. Liz, I must be. No, I can't be putting people to sleep. I just must be revolting them for them to leave, because if I was putting them to sleep, they'd still be in the channel.
I'm nearly snoring over here. I'm kidding. No, don't waste that coffee. That's a sin, you know.
Shoulda?
No,
Shoulda?
It's a sin to waste coffee. It is.
Okay,
coffee
I'll not waste coffee then.
Coffee's like gold dust.
Okay,
It's
here,
precious.
have your coffee back. I'll not waste coffee.
It's precious. No, don't you dare. It's a sin to waste juice.
That t-shirt coming in?
No, definitely not.
I'd lose.
Will scare everyone away. Oh
dear. Yo, I should really review the Charlie's Chalk Dust.
Let's do it right now. No, I'm kidding.
I really should review it. It wasn't got for review. It was just got for. Michelle, ever tried Death Wish coffee?
No, that sounds interesting. I would try that though.
I mean, John Deere's nothing but money machines. So all you've got to buy John Deere Specialist oil, and your clutch goes. It's $3,000. I have my eyes on a Massey. You see, Ben, I'm with you here. Coming from living in Ballymena, you see all these boy racers, sitting out with their pimped up cars that they've bought for a couple of grand, spent maybe another £1,000, lowering it to the knees and everything else, and trying to go out and try and pose and everything else. But then you get the country lads coming in, and they're, your car's worth what, £5-6 grand, £7 grand? Look at me and my £120,000 tractor. Death Wish coffee basically prides itself on being the strongest coffee you can buy.
Oh, do you know, I love strong coffee, like I do. I always have milk in it though. I couldn't drink an espresso. Oh,
Live review now. Thinking about trying that juice.
What one?
Which one? The Dream Cream.
Oh, it's so delicious. It is just like Dale Farms honeycomb ice cream.
So,
Get it.
Charlie's Chalk Dust Dream Cream. Put it this way, Ian. This is my second bottle of it. Since Expo, I was trying to save it, but I was saving it. I don't know what I was saving it for, but as soon as I got this, it had to go into this. Yeah. What can I say about it?
Hear the music.
Go on, sing.
I can't. The music's way better.
Right, so on the inhale, you are getting warm fudge. It is. It's, even though it says it's a cream, because it actually has cinnamon in there as well, and other spices, which gives it a little bit of warmth when actually you're taking it into your mouth. You're getting the vanilla, and it's a vanilla fudge. Now Michelle doesn't like vanilla normally, and
But that's not overpowering.
it's not an overpowering vanilla. The fudge actually balances out, so it does, and it's really smooth as it's going down. Say the spices just sort of tingle in your tongue slightly on the way in, and on the way back out again, you're getting more of that rich, creamy fudge. The vanilla, it's not like, I'm trying to think. There's a vanilla fudge that you can actually get, that's not overly vanilla, but it's really creamy. I think it's Devon fudge. So it's really much like that, like the Devon fudge, but with an added bit of cinnamon spice thrown into it. And for anybody in Northern Ireland that's ever had Dale Farm honeycomb ice cream, it's basically a warm version of that.
It's really nice.
And Ben, can we expect a review in the fatality? No.
Are you just adding to my shopping list now?
No. I don't have it, so you can't expect one on that. I don't think Roy has on Ben, although it's certainly worth the money.
Was it Fatality M25?
But you can, it's far too expensive. There's no way. There's just no way in this earth would I want one. I'd be scared to use it because I'd probably end up breaking it. No, Ben, I try and keep, my reviews are more of the affordable stuff.
M25. RT.
They're like 75 quid.
Are they? Are you having a laugh?
No.
Must be.
Flavour is faking us. But for flavour wise,
So it is.
flavour wise, the FP for me hits the flavour.
Yeah, that's even a bit out of my price range for an RT.
Did we remember to hit the like button, or if you prefer thumbs down? I don't mind what people hit.
That's not going on the shopping list.
No, it's not. I wouldn't. You know, to me, if I was spending 75 quid, I'd much rather spend an extra 14 quid on top of it, 15 quid on top, no, 24 quid on top of it, and get one of those. Full setup. Just grab a clone, Roy. There's bound to be. There is. The M25 clicks the FP as. I love the FP. Oh, if you want to try the best honeycomb ice cream, you need to try Hickey Piggy ice cream. No. Dale Farm ice cream, or even better than Dale Farm's, is
I don't know what other honeycomb ice cream. I've never really.
what's it called up in Portrush? Bunny, Morelli's, Morelli's ice cream up in Portrush, who was the original. They're the original creators of a Pooh Bear ice cream, as they called it, way back. Or Mods actually was Mods. Sorry, was the actual creators of the Pooh Bear ice cream, as they called it, honeycomb ice cream. Ice cream. So yeah, it's a really smooth, rich juice. It gets, from me, it's a 9.5 out of 10, approaching the 10 mark, big style. The only reason it does get a slightly lower mark is because it is a little bit of a coil killer.
And it's not a bottomless bottle. Boo-hoo.
Yeah. I've seen everyone on Northern Ireland Vape going on about them, but I love both of the VMs much.
What's a VCMT?
It's basically nearly the same as that.
Right.
I haven't seen a clone of the M25 yet, Village. They will be out. They more than likely will be out, but I wouldn't do a review. Well, I suppose I could do it on VapeTube. Either that or try LeBlanc ice cream in either Bright or Murrayford. If you're talking about Australian ice creams, it's really quite hard for us to get.
LeBlanc ice cream.
Saint 2F Vape doesn't. There you go. Ian knows where to get the clones from.
Let's just call them clickers.
The original or the M25? But it's the thing about it is, if it's a one-on-one clone and they've changed the packaging, is that not what car dealers do? Did you not get many a car that's based exactly the same chassis? The bodywork looks virtually the same, and they just change the name on it. And from what I've heard as well, it's quite a lot of the clones that Sorry, Liz. The same sort of styled ones are actually made in the same factory as the originals. Mine's not a clone, Saint. Mine's not a clone, Saint. 25. Oh, if you want to get any of the Aussie years I brought to Expo, where you get mine from, that includes Milo. Aussie years. I mean, the only hassle be what do I run? I'll have a lustro and a protein marmite all day. Aussie treats. Right.
I just love them sweets. See, I wasn't overly hungry at Expo. I don't know if it was the heat or the excitement of it being my first or what, but maybe it was just all that breakfast I ate as well. It kept me going, I suppose. I wasn't really overly hungry at all.
Oh, doesn't have breakfast.
I know. Oh my god, them choco pans and
Oh, we can't even go for breakfast on Friday.
Sure we can. Drop them off and then go. Wait.
We'll just go. No, we'll just go to the coffee shop again.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about when am I going to 19th
next week.
Yeah, we can go out to Grafters.
Mm-hmm.
Huge breakfast of champions. It was the Premier Inn breakfast. I had no harm to anybody. That breakfast was immense. Absolutely immense.
Oh yeah, I'd go back to that hotel just for the breakfast.
I'm actually quite glad I'm not going this October though. Can you just imagine that hotel being full of
my God,
Cher fans?
Full of normies that don't vape, going, get the clouds away from the doors. It's causing an awful smell of like sweet strawberries and stuff.
I was actually thinking of sending a complaint letter into Premier Inn about that manager because he was a bit of a prick. The Vitality clone was getting pretty much the same as the original, so if it's the same folk doing it, then I'm sure the MTN will be the same. I wish you were going in October.
Oh, the journey alone though, Liz, was just...
Yeah, I think I'm still actually recovering from 26 hours driving.
Because my mum is actually looking forward to having the kids over again. Like, definitely, she had a blast that weekend with the kids. So, like, babysitter's not an issue, but it's just the journey.
I have been looking forward to the Vapor Lifestyle Expo in Manchester, but the website's been pulled down. There's no mention of it anywhere.
But we'll definitely be going in May again. Definitely.
Yeah, May next year again. I'll be recovered just about probably for the drive to do it again. But this time we're not making the mistake of sleeping in the car on the Sunday night when we get back up to your mum's. We know we're going to go and get on the higher bed.
We could even like travel up a day earlier.
Ben, I don't watch boxing, mate. UFC, I watch it in fits and starts. It's not something that I would make a point of sitting watching. I'm not the world's biggest sporty fan. I tend to watch a wee bit of athletics when it comes to Olympics and Commonwealths. I watch Manchester United play badly at football. That's about it for sports.
Hiya, Scotsman.
Hiya, Scotsman. Hyson Alu. Roy Reviews is the most important channel in the world.
Totally.
Thank you for saying it. Thank you for dropping by, and hello and welcome. Hyson. What can I say? I'm a bit stumped. I just still seen the kid back.
You're scaring people away.
That way.
I heard that.
You're scaring Sainty.
He's not easily scared.
Well, Scotsman, how's you this evening? Just thought we'd do a wee live since Steve Davis gone AWOL on Bunny and Brew, but the two of them couldn't even be bothered wanting to join me this evening, so I just thought there's a gap, there's nobody going live at the moment, so I just thought get in. Didn't know she was there.
It's not, it's a ghost.
Yeah, she's suffering a little bit from lady issues.
Lady issues in
Bloody hell, I didn't know there was anyone there. Never noticed the kid. I know bad things. Yeah, so how you feeling now?
She's laughing, so I think
She's laughing,
right.
so it's just the tablets are kicking in. It's a pity Sinner wasn't in. Some of his chloroform, we could have borrowed it. Here, sniff this. So tomorrow night I'm going to get a review carded. I knew I said I was going to do a just review, but no, I've decided I'm going to do let's just review tomorrow night. Yeah. Or is it? It could be something different. Yeah, and I'm also getting rather pissed off as well because I got all the way up to the dizzy heights of 999. We love you. I'm watching you 24 hours a day now. I'm crying now. We love you.
Wow.
I think that's a kid. Oh, wow. Sainty, they've actually got a YouTube channel with 71 subscribers on it, so it's not a made-up troll. Just make sure that uses a hot water bottle. Yeah, we didn't have a hot water bottle. We're going to have to get one.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just keep your count. It might be genuine. The count's real. It's not. The count's been there for about 6 months. Ian, yes, please.
Yes, please. Make it strong.
Milk, no sugar.
Yeah.
Darn, I called myself for it. Stop telling yourself. Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, so there's just reviews and hardware reviews and more pod reviews. There's still 2 more pod reviews to come up. There's this beastie, and it is a beastie. So
that's huge.
Yeah. There's the Vladen. Against the Vladen. Makes the Vladen look teachy. But it's really comfortable. The Nun.
Oh my
Did you
Lord.
see The Nun in theatres and Blu-ray?
No, that is so creepy. The advert just totally freaked me out. No thanks.
What's that? The Vibe? Yeah, it's the Vibe, and it's out of charge. Looks like a nose hair trimmer. It does. The Nun's a horror movie.
In personal training. Hi. Well, hey there. How are you?
Hi, welcome.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening.
And how are you? I'm Grant, and personal trainer. How are you? How much did YouTube pay me for 1 million views?
Oh my lord.
How much did they pay you for 1 million views? That's it. I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm gonna have to watch that. He's 3,000 subscribers. Well done, NM personal training. How do you do a sit up? How do you do a bicycle crawl? How do you bench press? Well, I know how to do all those things. So, he's been going 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they paid me about 800 all in all.
For 1 million views?
For 1 million views.
That's
absolutely...
rip-off.
That's, it shows you people, trying to make, one's living and everything else, but I suppose they're getting hundreds of millions of views. So, it's not a big amount for a lot of views. But folks, if anybody's interested in personal training and how to do the perfect plank and bicep curls, and to go along with your healthier vaping lifestyle as opposed to your the video took me about 5 minutes. If anybody wants to see about how you do those things, how to make protein pancakes,
there's even a workout as well on there.
There's workouts and everything else. Get across there to NM Personal Training. Give them he's got 3,100 subs on there, so he's doing something right. And let's see if we can get him another 800 quid. Another 1 million views, but not coming from my channel, it's not. So you'll get another maybe 2 or 3 views, but you'll get some views from me. You'll get a wee subscribe from me. There you go. Just subscribe to you.
Click the bell button too so you can get notifications.
Yeah.
Click it now.
Probably bought subs.
Oh my god, Sainty. Who knows?
Well, he's got a video there, because the views were so far apart. If they're all on the same day, yeah, you got them all on the same day.
That'd be like Superman.
He's got Herbalife, how to make a Herbalife shake on there with 957,000 views. And another one up there with 32,000 views on it. So it doesn't look like bought subs. So donuts.
I want donuts.
Working on building sites, all the training I need.
I had cheesecake today. It was so yummy. Oh, it was salted caramel cheesecake, and they put loads of cream on it as well.
So it's actually quite funny because 4 years ago he was going how to make a Herbalife shake, and then a year later is why I stopped using and selling Herbalife. I definitely don't buy them. People weirdly just find me interesting, I guess. But I'm good at being lazy and eating donuts. I'm very good at eating donuts. In work, I have Donut Thursday every Thursday. I buy a big tray of donuts from a well-known supermarket, and also custard donuts, and then the iced donuts are to share in work, and the custard donuts are for me to eat all by myself, all 5 of them.
I'd love a cheesecake donut. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it's so strange what people find absolutely amusing and willing to watch. To me, the more outlandish you are and stupid you are, the more YouTube likes to find people and everything else. And at 3,100 subs, that's not like the weird, strange people.
It was really good cheesecake, guys.
Yeah, she actually sent me pictures of it. Me sitting in work, slogging my backside off, and she sends me pictures of salted caramel cheesecake with cream and a coffee.
It's so good. It's quite expensive though.
Yeah. I'm working hard on my donut.
It does look like a donut now.
Why am I sitting? Why am I sitting trying to vape something that's got no battery life in it?
Pass. That's a mystery yet to be solved. Dear.
I suppose I could give work a bit of advertising as well. Energia Group.
You're doing well. Keep going. Keep doing live videos and the subs will come. Yeah.
Can you?
It's just finding the space to do a live, really. Like tonight we're kind of lucky because nobody else is really doing a live show that we watch. So.
Can you send some nice cake with Bunny to Expo so if you aren't going, I can think of you?
Oh.
You should be thinking of me anyway, Liz.
I got it from Nero's. Like I didn't make it myself. I'm not that crafty.
No, it's my nice cake she's on about.
Oh, fine.
Not you.
Not
you.
Wait, I thought we were still on the cheesecake talk.
You're doing very well. Keep the live videos and the subs will come. I do a live show on Vape Lounge NI every Sunday night. So, and one of my moderators in there, Sainty, has been on my back for months about doing lives on this show or on this channel on my review channel. I wanted to try and keep it, but I have done a review tonight, so it is keeping it review orientated.
Oh, yeah.
So it's at the end of the day, it's if I get subs, I get subs. If I help one person through my videos, then I'm happy. Hopefully some people will find some of the stuff that I put out interesting, and I do get some views, and that's what it's about for me. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy sitting here in front of the cam talking rubbish for an hour, 2 hours, or sometimes more. But it's really saturated in the group of friends that there is around. There is that many funny you mention your
Oh yeah, Saint is not a mod on this channel yet. Oh well, he is now.
What was I saying?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just heavily saturated.
Yeah, heavily saturated. So trying to find a space when to go live, because it's not nice if you've got a lot of ones on the same boat who are trying to make a go of it and get people in everywhere else. And there's a lots of people who are regulars, like the most of the ones that's in here tonight, and you don't want to split them between 2 shows or 3 shows and everything else. A couple of ones that's in here tonight, Vapor Bunny and Vape and Brew normally are on a show with Steve Dave at this time on a Monday night. Steve's gone AWOL, so I thought, you know what, I'll fill the space. Saint is an after. No, Saint is not an afterthought. It's I just didn't know. Well, because he normally complains about being moderator on too many channels, so I didn't want to burden him with having to be a afterthought in here.
Yeah.
He's a forethought. Saint is always a forethought in my mind.
Oh.
So he is. Liz, I'm always an afterthought.
It's because you're such a saint.
But
he is a saint, really.
Saint is your number 1 fan.
He is.
No, John Nash is my number 1 fan.
Oh no, where is he tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit late though. He's maybe sleeping.
Yeah, his meds were already kicked in by now.
Poor dude. So hi John, hi Jude. If you watch your replay.
Yeah. Hi John. Hi Jude. Keep doing your thing. You'll do great. I just get on with it and do it. It's one of those things. It's like it was my Instagram account. I was up to 999 at one stage. It's dropped back down again to 994. It's now back up to 996. I'm just not the most appealing person to people, but looks at things. But I just keep going. It's not all about having big numbers. I'm not ever wanting to make money off my channel. I'll probably never, even if I do ever get over the 1,000, which social tube or whatever it's called, 7 years before I get to 1,000. You're supposed to say no, Liz, you are. Well, that backfired on you, Liz. I think you'll do Do well. Keep enjoying. Yeah, and as I said, I used to do a show with Ben, and I was trying to get sports related. It was on VapeTube, or not VapeTube, Vape Lounge NI. But I think personal fitness
I remember.
and
that.
vaping really does go hand in hand, because if you take a smoker to a gym and they're still smoking, all their cardiovascular training and exercise is going to waste, because they'll do it and they'll go outside and take a cigarette and just fill their lungs back up again. But combining the two with personal fitness and vaping is a good angle. It's a really good angle to go down.
I need to get back into Zumba again. I love doing Zumba.
You could do Zumba videos.
Aye, right.
Yeah, you and Kieran could have a Zumba channel. And,
Aye, right.
well, at least Michelle loves me. She
I
doesn't.
do.
She was telling me last night. She goes, see that Liz one? She just annoys me because she's just always backstabbing me and everything else and running me down.
Don't. No.
Hand in hand, I was a fat beat when smoking, and I'm fat beat while vaping. Right, you make a difference to those who subscribe your view channel. Don't stress about numbers. I'm not. We could always collab one day. I think that'd be actually a fantastic idea.
Oh my goodness.
Also, because there's one of my close friends, Carl, who's from KTG and the Cosmos, who all my videos have the music in them. He's also gone into the personal training things as well, but his shape is really he's
like He-Man.
yeah. Hey, vaping is as healthy as I can be bothered to get.
Och Village, you're not that unhealthy looking.
It's but the thing about it is people tend to look at personal training and everything else and fitness as having to be out there doing things all the time. You don't. A little but often is all it needs. I'm ex-military, so I used to be pounding the streets. I've hit you up, NM, so I've subscribed to you. Give us a shout, keep an eye near on me and everything else. And yeah, we'll maybe try something. So good night, sweet dreams. Village, you're built like a stick anyway. He's built, or Village is built like me.
Big tall giant. A lot of you.
But I used to go out and run 5 miles every day. Every single day I would go out and run 5 miles. And even when I came back to Northern Ireland, so you're even looking about 6 years ago. But it was so funny because you'd see me pounding the streets running 5 miles with a fag hanging out of my mouth. So I would.
I got an SJ story.
Got an SJ. Vaping with SJ's just put Michelle on a story.
It's because I hopped on the Me Pod Monday
After
train.
I thought I was
No.
hugging Village and
I
Roy.
love that though.
They were going,
She's so cool.
Liz, I don't snap with a hug. No, I don't. Oh my god. Is that the time? 11:15?
Is it?
I wouldn't say that, Sandy. My beer belly is coming. I haven't got a beer belly coming through. I've got a donut belly. I know I would be a lot healthier than I am, but at the same time I like me. I have enough people put me down and bullying me for my appearance and growing up and in a relationship. I don't care now. Maybe you should have hugged Roy harder and you may have snapped. Maybe the same size as Michelle then. That's true. But it's... I didn't do health things for me or for the way I looked. I did them for me just to be that I could actually do things without being out of breath and everything else. I grew up being bullied because I was stick thin. My mum and dad took me up to the hospital, the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast, for 6 years, trying to figure out what was wrong with me because I couldn't put weight on. There was a guy who was called Brendan Surgener, who was the UK's strongest man at a time, and he took me to the gym and tried to put weight on me. For 4 years I went. The doctor had prescribed me steroids I even had tried illegal steroids as well at the time, trying to put weight on, but my body just wouldn't take it, and that's where quite a lot of my depression came out of, because of the amount that I was bullied at school and bullied through life for being so skinny. But I've learned to accept me for being me, and sometimes when I look down, I'm starting to see a belly now. I'm going like my dad, because he's quite skinny with a big belly. I'm thinking, oh my god, no, I don't want that. And other times I'm going, oh, I've got a belly. And people look at me strangely and go, what? So what was that belly and the other? But going through, when I went back, well, I've got diagnosed with depression there 4 years ago. And I was talking to the docs, the quacks, about it. It was one of the things that came up was about me being bullied when I was younger at school, and even after school and everything else. People just saw me as the big lanky streak of piss. They've seen better legs hanging out of a nest, or lucky legs because they're lucky don't break. All the jokes today and everything else. So I have fully accepted I am what I am. I can be harsh about myself, or people can be harsh about me now, about my weight and my looks and everything else. It just water off a duck's back.
Okay, I'm happy with you.
I just walk past Greg's and smell it and put on a stone. You are what you are, and it ain't going to change. So if it's a case of making peace with it and moving on, that's life. That reminds me, I need to go back and see my GP, check my meds, and possibly go and get retested. You may be a tall, lanky, but thanks,
Me
Liz. Linda, me personally, I was offered meds. I refused them because the meds are instant help, maybe, but then you've got the troubles of coming back down off them on the other side. And that's one of the reasons why I refuse to take all meds. The only tablets I take now, and I do take them quite regularly, would be ibuprofen, because paracetamol will make me sick, and ibuprofen help. But then again, it doesn't help when you've broken nearly every bone in your body over your lifespan. I can be rebuilt. Yeah, but depression can be one of the hardest things that's supposed to blokes, but in Northern Ireland they're starting to recognise that now. And one of my friends, Mark, has started a Facebook. It started off as a Facebook group, and it's now gone out in tour around the country, and it's becoming a big organisation. And it's also in conjunction with a suicide awareness group in Ballymena, which is also now a charity called Turning Point NI, and they're doing lots of good things. They started these. They're actually one of the first I heard talking about the Darkness into Light walks, and they'd held a couple in Ballymena previously, and they're starting to become a big thing now in Northern Ireland. The darkness into start off in at 4:30 in the morning and walk into dawn.
Oh wow!
Basically, so it's from the darkness into the light to try and signify you can.
Find
There's
the
always
light,
there's light, and there's light at the end of all the dark tunnels. When I was then when I was 24, but I managed to get off them after 2 years. I was back on them again in 2015. Had been on them during.
Move over. See, that's a big stressful time.
Yeah.
Like I went through. I don't know, I would say a bit of depression moving over here, because it's obviously I don't know anyone now. But I'm alright now.
She did. It was really, really hard on Michelle moving to a strange town, with a strange person. Going into a strange house and everything being strange ways, and
you'd think I'd be used to it,
but
because I've done it so many times.
I think she's lucky enough though. But normally you have the support. You've other army wives and everything else around you and everything else. Here you don't.
Yeah.
But you've got the town right around you.
I know, and that's the best part. I just get to go for coffee whenever I want, go to Greg's whenever I want, get donuts.
Depression and anxiety for years. Some days are better than others, but having vape fan has helped. Liz, and we love you. We do.
It does. Honestly, the vape community as a whole is like a family because, like, you know, there's always someone there that you can message or that, and just for a wee blether or something. If you're feeling down or anything, everyone's there.
I had a really bad breakdown here in 2016. I've had several smaller ones since then. I've also been meds changed twice in the last 12 months because the ones I was stuck. That's the other things about meds. The human body is such an intricate and wonderful, amazing thing that no matter what we throw into it, it seems to start combating and saying, I don't like this. So, you know, it's after a while everything will stop working. It's like antibiotics, they stop, you know, that's why they have to keep changing them, everything else. It's also why the flu jab has to get changed every year.
Well, they do nose spray now for the kids with the flu.
So, you know, that's why everything changes, because the human body adapts and adjusts. And, you know, as much as medical science and everything else is there, do they really know what's happening? I always keep quiet, never tell anyone, but sometimes seek the vape fam just for the comfort of knowing they are there. But that's the whole point. At times you don't even have to, you know, I never mentioned on cam for a year that I had depression and everything else. People close to me, the likes of Bunny, knew what I was going to, what I've been through and everything else, and a lot of the things that I've seen. I think Michelle's starting to understand now a little bit more about what things that I've come through, from being from Northern Ireland. But you know, there's some people in Northern Ireland that have lived here all their lives, not seen any trouble whatsoever. But by the fact of what I put myself into at the time and everything else, I did get to see a lot of the trouble. And also with the age I am, being 48 this year. 47 now, right, you're 47 now. You're not 40, you're 47 right now. You're 47. It's, you know, there's a lot of the things people living in bubbles don't understand. You know, seeing somebody that's sort of had vigilante style of justice handed out to them can be, you'll get, yep, that's me, Sandy. The sad thing is with me, until I started vaping in late 2017, I didn't really have any friends over here. Growing up in Australia, it's a completely different culture than it is. Yeah, it's. I can even honestly say, Linda, Northern Ireland's culture is completely different to the likes of England and Scotland. So therefore, you know, it goes without saying, considering most of the ones in Australia, the white ones in Australia, shall we say, are probably Irish prisoners that were taken from here and shipped over to there, and then sort of have prospered and made well for themselves. But that's sometimes it's how you approach things. Excuse me. People over here seem to be a lot more reserved and closed off.
Same here, honestly. Yeah, I'm just.
But Northern Ireland, we're not. We just get on with things and things. Irish and Scottish, yeah. But let's go back to those things. There's, you know, I don't class myself as Irish. I'm Northern Irish, if anything. I'm British, is what stays in my passport. Michelle and I had an argument the other day. She said she's not British, she's Scottish.
I know I am British, obviously, but I always classify myself as Scottish first because I'm proud to be Scottish. You know, Scotland have their own heritage as well.
Yeah, so does the British Isles.
Yeah, but then you also get people down in England who classify themselves as
English
over British as well. Like, they're still British, but they say I'm English first.
Yeah. But I'm patriotic, so that's why I'm British.
I'm Scottish.
But it's life.
Scottish British.
But that's life. No matter who somebody is, you know, whether you're black, white, Hindu, Jew, whatever it is, you cut them, they all.
See, yeah, see, he gets it. British
I-
but Scottish first. See,
Look in your passport. That's all I can say. It doesn't mention the word Scottish in your passport. It doesn't.
So.
It doesn't. So, okay, okay, hang on. Let's see. I am now classifying myself as unicornish.
You can do that in these days.
I am classifying myself as unicornish.
You could literally go to like the registry office and say, I don't.
No, that's religion.
Right.
That's not your nationality. But I'm going to classify myself as unicornish because I'm just going to be a unicorn from now onwards. I identify myself as a unicorn.
Good. That means I love
The
you
passport,
even more.
Britain
I love
and a country,
unicorns.
it's
Love
a
'em.
union. I'm Scottish, then British.
It is a union. See? See. Right. Good, guys.
It's only because they're Scottish and they're aye the new.
Okay, the new.
Aye the new. I'm Scottish. I'm Raz C. Nesbitt.
Rapsy Nisbet. Lizardish. I'm a me pod for the night. See, this is my Michelle pod.
No, I'm a unicorn.
It's a Michelle pod.
There's actually I am a unicorn. There's a picture downstairs and I'm a unicorn.
Oh yeah, so there is.
What was that?
What was what?
I know,
right.
Vape Scotsman, if you want to know sort of the origins behind that, if you watch this Chris Empire Vape Company's vlog from Expo, not one past, not May past, the May before, yeah. Michelle, the new, get him right in the nuts.
Right in the nuts. Get some.
Aye, get me kilt on. I'll toss the caber at you. There's a murder. There's been a murder.
Murder.
Purple curly whirly.
I actually miss my Scottish accent.
Last year it was hilarious watching that. To be fair, if anyone asks me ISM English, ultimately the UK is a union of countries and no one in the EU says that they're from the EU. What country is it they're from?
Yeah.
No, that Scottish accent.
No.
The EU is a union, yes, but the collaboration of the Great Britain and Northern Ireland as in the United Kingdom, it's not a union, it's a United Kingdom. So therefore, it's not a union of colonies. There's not many states. There is a few states in the EU that has their own monarch. So the Queen is the ultimate monarch over the. She can actually have to say if she had the kahunas at times and say to Parliament, "Use your rubbish, see you, bye." She actually has the power to do that.
I wish I would at times.
Yeah, so do I. So that's why it's different. It's not a union. It's a united. It's the lands united. We are united nutters. Yes, we are all
That's
united
it.
nutters.
We're all united nutters.
So, but the act of the United Kingdom basically is not an act of it's not the act of the union. Even though it's called the Union flag, that's where people get the idea of a union from, because it's called the Union flag or the Union Jack. And other people confuse it and say the Union Jack's only a Union Jack when it flies in a boat, but that's not strictly true. It's called Union Jack after Jack. So.
Jack who?
But what's in your passport, UK or British? British is on your passport because you're classified as British.
It is British. It's a British passport.
Yes, but it's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which says on your passport.
Yeah.
Not the Union of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's so you're in the Union. I'm not in the Union.
We're in the Union.
It's the
You said you're in
United
the Union.
Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's not a union. I don't have a passport, so no idea. But no, same thing. It says the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, not the Union of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Union, onion, potato.
True, but it's still a similar principle and still made up of multiple countries. It's not though.
See, Melinda's
Says
there's
Australian. Yeah. It's not though a multiple countries, because whenever it was ruled under by one king or one queen, it was all one.
Can the Welsh get a Welsh passport?
No.
See, they classify themselves as Welsh.
Yeah, but they're still British. You've got the separate provinces. The provinces of England, the province of England, the province of Scotland, the province of Wales, the province of Scotland, the province of Northern Ireland, which was Ireland before 1921, whenever it then became a separated country. It became the Free State and Northern Ireland, but it was still under the rule of the monarch and everything else. So, the history of the United Kingdom, I love it. Bring it on. You see, that's why Australian federated the colonies and states under one flag on one-ish rule. Yes, and we're Scottish, but still British, but we're Scottish first. No, you're British first, then Scottish.
Sainty, I love you.
This
is the argument that we had last
It's only
weekend,
the Scottish
honestly.
have this thing.
Because we're proud.
All I can say that
Right.
Royal Mail postage costs the same to each of those places. Exactly, Liz.
I love the Royal Mail.
And
I
you have
had
to
it
also
open.
remember that Isle of Man as well is part of the British Isles, and the Shetlands.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And
The
Orkneys.
Shetland and the Orkneys, which are way up there somewhere. No one calls them provinces. England is a country to us here.
Yeah, it is.
They're provinces
It's
irrespective. They're more. They are becoming more of countries and everything else.
It is.
Well, okay. Whenever you have the Olympic Games, I'm Northern Irishman first,
Scotland's a
Ulster
country.
second, and British third.
See, even when I put my address down, I don't put UK. I put Scotland. Well, not anymore. I put
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. But yeah, I used to put Scotland.
Manic Stereo's just
UK.
Scottish.
Scotland.
I say ish because we have state and federal governments. So quantum magistral. I'm just a bitch, so I win. Scotland is a country, and it has forever been forever.
It has. It is a
It
country.
not has not.
It's not
That
okay.
border has actually moved up on more times than the whore's knickers.
No, it's not. It's always been at Carlisle
No, it hasn't.
or outside it. Anyway.
It hasn't. The border has moved up and down. No, Liz, I'm the bitch. Just because you're on the BOEs doesn't mean to say you're the biggest bitch.
She's the main bitch.
Yeah. She's the main bitch.
I got you, bunny.
But no, the history of the British Isles and everything else, it actually all was one land to start with, and if you want to take it down to that, even you go way back, you have the different clans of the different tribes and everything else. It wasn't all Scotland under one thing.
It's actually more Scottish over here than it is in
Just because the
Scotland.
border don't mean it's not a country. It's. But the thing about it is, Sainty, it's all mythical and it's all made up. The land borders and everything else are all made up. It's all one land.
Technically, I'm a unicorn because that's our national creature.
Yeah.
So ha.
But if you go back 600 years, Scotland wasn't a country as such. It was a little bits of different provinces made up by different clans, and each clan ruler on it. Or probably a bit more than that. 600 years. You're probably talking 1200 years. But it wasn't a country. Who says I have to be fair?
We're getting some weird topics growing tonight, aren't we?
No fair me.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's always so funny because you get the ones who are really patriotic English. Then you get the ones who are really patriotic Scottish who hate the English.
I know, I don't hate the English.
And then you get us over here that go, we just want to be British.
Yeah. That's it. I don't hate anyone.
And it makes even more fun when you sort of walk around all different areas and see Brits out all over the place. So it's all one landmass, but still made up of no, it's not different countries. First time I've ever heard of England and Wales and Scotland are provinces and not countries.
Same actually. I've never really heard of them as
Okay,
provinces.
if they were countries in their own rights, whenever they go to the Olympics, they'd go as Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, like they do at the Commonwealths.
They do, don't they?
No, they go to the Olympics as one.
Oh,
It's
right,
great. It's Team
it's the
GB and NI.
Yeah, the Commonwealth. Yeah, that's where they do the
So
funny ones.
Britain are they're not a union of countries. It's United Countries, not a union.
Oh,
The EU, the European Union, is what we voted to get out of. We
yeah.
voted to leave that as one country. It's just the same as the EU's Union of Countries. No, it's not the same as the EU's Union of Countries. There is no. We're tied into a undemocratic, unbureaucratic Brussels agreement that the British government signed up for, and the British government has got final say over what happens in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Even though you've got your own little parliaments and everything else, you still. And hang on, Sainty, Scotland voted to want to leave the United Kingdom, and they voted no.
I'm with you there, Liz.
They stayed.
I'm with
Oh,
you there.
look, we're all living in the United Kingdom, so it can't be our this argument. So I'm putting my foot down and stopping it now.
Hiya, Manic.
Never voted as one country. Scotland voted to stay. We voted. The question was, do you want the United Kingdom to leave or stay? Not do you want Scotland to leave or stay? Did you want England to leave or stay? Do you want Northern Ireland to leave? Do you want the United Kingdom to leave or stay?
Scotland
So
voted
there,
to stay.
they had 51%, something like
That's
that. Plus, Liz, I think Roy's foot might be bigger than yours. Perhaps you know.
His foot's bigger than me and Melinda.
I voted stay in the UK and voted leave the EU.
Yeah, stay in the UK.
Yeah. What in? I'm going to tell him, man. TTs. So, enough of politics. Right, what's next?
I don't know. Coffee.
Yeah, I could do with coffee.
Me too.
Yeah.
Here, Anne make his coffees.
Get it's going. Disco, 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 disco,
yeah,
disco,
that's
disco,
that weird
disco.
mod
1,
thing.
2, 3. Oh, it's because it's got no. Oh, there we go. Different colours now.
That's so bright.
Ding, 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 ding,
Give
ding,
me
ding.
the sugars.
If he doesn't change the subject,
I will try it.
Mel.
I'm staying
Oh.
clear of that one. I'm not sounding great.
It's 11 p.m. and I'm debating coffee or bed. Coffee.
Oh, coffee. I have coffee before bed.
I couldn't vote for Scotland to stay because I was in a different country called England. Different province.
Country.
Okay. No, last thing. Village. You're going about the EU and the European Union. If you're in France, do you have a European Union passport? No, you have a French passport. Are you and if you go to Spain, do you have a Spanish or a European? No, you have a Spanish passport. If you're in Germany, you have a German passport. So that union things. When you're in the United Kingdom, you have one passport, the British passport. Or if you're in Northern Ireland, you actually get a choice of two. Yeah, you get a choice of the Irish passport or the British passport. There you go. Village, I swear.
And I swear.
That too. I'll start singing.
In
the stars in the sky. Kieran, it's 11 o'clock. Why are you not in bed?
I know, you've got school in the morning. Bless her wee soul.
Actually, my son has 2 passports.
My daughter can get 2 passports.
So can I get 2 passports?
So can you, I know, they're like,
We're special.
they're special.
And so could Darren. Bunny will never have 2 passports because she would never accept the fact that she's Irish. Incoming shots fired. My chair's well squeaky. Need more WD-40 on it.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm so waiting for that day when you lean back and it just.
We take both when we
goes.
went to Ireland and France.
Sorry.
You shouldn't have a choice in two Northern. Exactly, and I'm totally with you. I totally agree. You know, it is a completely separate country with its own laws, its own money, its own everything else in it.
Yeah, it's just.
But such is the twisted world that we live in. That such strange things can happen. But it's the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months has actually been. It's been a pleasure sort of teaching Michelle, about the history of Northern Ireland.
Oh.
And it's not. I'm not doing it from a blinkered perspective either. It's not all one-sided. There's. I'm trying to portray the history as.
Both sides.
Yeah, there's both sides were to blame in all the trouble and everything else. So.
And I'm seeing it as well now. Like I'm like, well, yeah.
But in the same time, there's a respect of both sides of the culture, and you're right to celebrate your country. I need to renew my Aussie passport and looking into becoming a British citizen.
Oh.
I tell you what, good luck with the British test.
Oh, sure. Oh my god, yeah. Even I probably couldn't pass that,
Because you think you're Scottish to start with.
No, but I don't even know much about the history over there. I didn't really listen in school to the history. I was just like,
But
snooze.
that's the other thing. If you do the British exam, and if you sort of class yourself as being Scottish, not British, you would fail.
I do classify myself as British, just Scottish first. Obviously. I like my flag better though. Scottish one's pretty.
Scottish flag is nice. I do like it, but it's in the Union flag.
Yeah, but.
Oh. But if anybody is in chat, there is a couple of people there, and if you haven't already joined the Associated Vaping Society, if there's any group that personally think you should join, it should be it. I'm going to drop the link into chat. So if you haven't already, most of you probably already have done this, judging by what's there.
I don't know. I'm not sure, Melinda. Honestly.
What's Melinda?
What kind of questions are on the exam?
Things like how many
kings and queens as there
wives has Henry VIII have? Who's the current monarch? There's just loads of. If you research online, there's loads of practice exams.
What's it called? What can I say? British quiz. Oh, what kind of exam is it? British exam. Entry
The all
exam?
new British citizen test. Here we go.
Test.
Okay, so folks, little quiz time.
Oh God.
Which landmark is a prehistoric monument which still stands in the English country of Wiltshire?
Scotland.
Is it Stonehenge, Hadrian's Wall, Oaf Stike, or Fountains Abbey?
Stonehenge. Is it?
Let the ones in chat. It's easy, Mel. Probably ask you how many countries make up the village.
It is Stonehenge.
Yeah, but let them answer it.
I don't know half these questions either.
That would be Stonehenge. What is the name of the admiral who died in a sea battle in 1805 and has become a monument in Trafalgar Square, London? Is it Cook, Drake, Nelson, or Raleigh?
I'm gonna go for Nelson. Who do you go for? Is that right? Yeah. I'm guessing it's right. Ooh, somebody says Cook.
Oh, Cindy, have you seen a big tower or big column called the Cook column, Nelson's column?
Oh, look.
In 1801, a new version of the official flag of the United Kingdom was created. What is it often called? British Standard, Royal Banner, St George's Cross, or Union Jack?
Jackie boy.
I said Cook has reminded me of food.
Oh wait. The next one. Oh yeah, I think I know the next one.
Yes, Dad mentioned it tonight.
St. Andrew.
Okay, number 4. Who is the patron saint of Scotland? St Andrew, St David, St George, St Patrick.
St Andrew?
She's saying this with such a bit of a disbelief in her face. And she calls herself Scottish.
Well, there's a place called St Andrews, so yeah. Right. Oh, I like this next one.
Okay.
It's the daffodil.
Look at that. The Scottish one's in straight in away.
See, I got that right.
Okay. What flower is traditionally worn by people on Remembrance Day? Poppy, lily, daffodil, iris. And if you're from, the thing about it is, if you were brought up in Northern Ireland or Ireland, especially if you're brought up in Ireland and you're going to be trying to stand this citizens test, that would be a really confusing answer.
Why? What would they wear?
Because Remembrance Day, as we know it, we'll wear a poppy. But if you're celebrating Easter Rising and their Remembrance Day, it's the lily.
Oh, I was totally going to guess the daffodil there for that Easter one. But yeah, poppy.
Okay, which of these sporting events was hosted in London in 2012? Commonwealth Games, Cricket World Cup, European Football, Paralympic Games.
Commonwealth. No, yeah. Every 4 years, isn't it?
This will be an interesting one to see the answers in this one. Do you want me to go over that one again, folks? Which of these sporting events was hosted in London in 2012? Commonwealth Games, Cricket World Cup, European Football Championship, or Paralympic Games?
Oh, they're saying all sorts of things, like cricket, Paralympics. It's the Commonwealth, isn't it? Oh, is it? I would have totally got that
The
one.
Paralympics, because the same year as the London 2012 Olympic Games.
Oh, right.
And the
not
Paralympics is held in the
Commonwealth.
same, is
Oh, yeah,
held
Olympics
straight after it.
every 4 years, isn't it?
Okay. At her Jubilee in 2012,
I think it is.
how many years did Queen Elizabeth II celebrate? 25, 40, 50, or 60?
60 years. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was 60. Yeah. It was 60.
The second largest party in the House of Commons is known by which name, or what name?
The other side.
The Senate, the opposition, Lords, the other side.
I'm going with the other side. Sounds much more appeasing. Let's take it to the other side. Is it? I didn't really. I would have probably just.
Well done, Village. Well done, Melinda.
Melinda's doing pretty well at this.
Melinda's doing very well at this, and so's Village.
She does more than I do. I totally would have went for opposition.
From what age can you be asked to serve on a jury? 16, 18, 21, 25.
Who actually is it? 16, 18, 16, 18. Well, you can vote at 16 though, can't you?
They were thinking of bringing it in.
I thought you could.
The Scottish wanted to bring it in because they thought that all the younger ones they could be more manipulative into their way of thinking.
And because Scotland's heavily populated with young ones.
Last question, folks. What is the title given to the person who chairs debates in the House of Commons?
Chairman.
The Chairman, the Speaker, Leader of the House, or Prime Minister? I've just got my 5th jury letter within a year. Bloody hell.
I've never done jury duty. I'd love to do jury duty.
Also,
one
do you know
day.
I'm a history teacher? Yeah.
Oh, the Speaker? Really?
Yeah, the Speaker.
I would have got that so wrong. I said chairman because chairs the debates. Yeah. I would have got that one right.
I meant Lords. I meant the click Lords.
No, opposition. I would have got that one right.
I read the question out wrong.
Because you clicked Lords and I.
Yeah, got the question out wrong. That's right.
There you go. You safely over the 75% hurdle. You passed the Britishness. The Britishness.
Village, you've done really well and got them all right. So you've passed the Britishness test.
He's British.
Not the English test, not the Scottish test, not the Northern Irish test, not the Welsh test, but the Britishness.
To be fair, if they had a Scottish test, I would totally fail it as well. I'm just terrible.
But yeah, folks.
Unicorn.
On all serious notes, Manic is doing a fantastic job with the Associated Vaping Society, the AVS, Facebook page.
It's Manic that runs it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's getting some fantastic sponsors on behind him there, and the membership's growing. He's at 888 people. So let's keep pushing, keep sharing it out, and let's get it over the 1,000 mark where it belongs. So I don't know if it's set up. Manic might be able to say. I don't know if it's set up where it automatically puts people into the group. If it does, then I'm not going to sit and invite, but just share it out.
England is in the UK.
Oh, vaping. Does the Vaping Scotsman actually help run it?
He says, "Can I join?" No, you cannot join. You may not pass. I'm kidding.
That's the like page is 888. Just request to join. There's like one question. Maybe I've got it wrong. Or I know that Manic was the one who.
Yeah, admin. He's admin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Vaping Scotland's a mod in it.
Yeah.
Gooper's a mod in it. That's it. I'm leaving.
I've never been a mod on any Facebook groups.
Yeah, Rannick has some random as a mod. Yeah, he's got Bill. He's got Gooper. He's got the Vaping Scotsman. And
I know, that's who we're missing in chat tonight. Where's Bill tonight?
Coffee.
Ooh, coffee.
But yeah, folks, as I say, it is one of those things where
A wee drip of coffee.
so new to the group. Mel's in. But one of the reasons why it's one of those Malik selflessly, when he sees links put on for different shows and things like that, shares them into the group. So even if you're not subscribed to a lot of people's channels and everything else, if you keep an eye on the group, it flings them up, and it's one of those. He's never actually asked or had to be asked to do things. He just goes out there and he does it, and it's one of the reasons why I like the group, and it's a nice wee place to go into. I'm not active in it as much as I probably could be, but I do read a lot of the posts in there. Me and the Scotsman may have scared people away in the mod post Manic made for the convo we had. Oopsies. I never actually seen that one.
I'm actually not active on Facebook really anymore. I just go on for a nosy from time to time.
And the other thing I just want to say is Dark Side Vapes Facebook group live stream are having a vape auction, and all proceeds are going to Carl Taylor and cancer research.
Ooh, that'll be worth a watch.
When is it?
29th of June. 29th of June at 8 o'clock on Dark Side Vapes YouTube group.
I don't like the fact that you have to join another group just to get in there and do it.
Yeah, but it's all going a good cause.
Yeah. I suppose you can leave after it. But that's the thing, it's if it's a setup where if you invite people, it gives them the invite to join, it doesn't just add them to the group. Because you see all these people that complain about being added to groups and everything else. But if you're added to a group and you don't want to, just press delete.
Mm-hmm.
Takes 2 seconds.
Press leave.
The guy from Dark Side Vape is the guy who
Chrome's mod.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. I've become mostly a lurker, a silent lurker in groups, still in. That's
Same,
me.
yeah.
Because I with what I do at work, running tests and testing sites and websites and computer programs, there is bits of downtime which I'll flick through Facebook. It doesn't give me the chance to be able to, maybe comment on things. If there is something I want to comment on, I will comment on it. But I'm not the most world active. Oh, so that might be actually a good idea, someone to speak to. Because once I get all the paint off the rage,
Send it him and get it chromed up.
Get it chromed up. I think that'll actually look quite classy chromed. Right, it is 25 past. We'll give it another 5 minutes and then I shall call it an evening.
Because I need coffee and bed.
And I need coffee and bed.
And Kieran's way to fall asleep.
Jeez, I'll carry her into bed in a minute. But yeah, so this has been actually quite nice tonight. I really do go through my Facebook and leaves the groups no longer active in, especially those in Australia.
Oh.
You can't dump Australia now that you're British, Melinda. And folks, everybody in chat, it's been a bit of a blast having a bit of banter with you and everything else, but I totally respect everybody's thoughts and views on who they are and what they are. If you want to class yourself as being English, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, whatever you class yourself on, that's your own personal business. And tonight was just a bit of banter with everybody and everything else.
It's been a good night.
So I will never take offence about what anybody wants to call themselves. I now identify myself as unicornish, so.
Oh, well, I love unicorns, so I'm happy with that.
And do another friend review. Nah, but for the BBS, I can't. Right, you should do more lives on this channel to promote your channel. Sandy,
it's just finding the space.
It's finding the space.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I'm probably going to do this. I'll probably do the same as happened tonight. If there was meant to be a show on and that show's no longer on, then yeah, I'll probably do it. But you missed me hearing. Probably missed me saying earlier, Sandy. I got a message to say that my Revo, IPV Revo, will be in this week in China, and then they'll be sending it out to me. So I will be doing a live unboxing of that. So what it is, what it looks like, and everything else. Be a live unboxing, and then the review will follow up in a week.
Unicornish.
Gateway
Bruce
out,
awake
blue.
again. Was you snoring?
Great, we out the blue live. Good morning, good evening.
Hit the blue.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another review from Roy's Reviews. Saturdays are normally free. Saturdays is not normally free for me.
No, we're like every weekend, even Wednesdays now.
Mondays are free up to 9 p.m. Michelle, let me know a good day to chat with you. Any day, she said, hey, Melinda, just get her on doing. I've been pushing her as hard as I can with her Instagram, because she takes bloody good pictures. Her tags are good. Her wee descriptives are actually fun. Are really good as well.
I try and make them kind of fun.
And it's shown. She's shot up past people who have been doing Instagram and call themselves Instagram models, and she's shot up past those, and you're well on your way to 1,500.
I'm over.
Oh, she's over 1,500 now. So
on my way to 2K next.
She's on the way to 2K.
And you never know. At 2K, I'm actually thinking of doing a little giveaway. So keep your eyes peeled. And if I get there, like I'm still far, like way bit away, but I am thinking of doing a little.
For anybody that's not
on Instagram.
I can't even know what I was going to say.
Do you know, I actually love Melinda's little camouflage. Where she camouflage? It would be so hard to camouflage this wee thing though. But yeah, I actually love them. Our wee camouflage or wee me pods.
I just want to say to everybody that has subscribed and followed Michelle on Instagram and has helped in any which way, a massive thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you, because I know all you guys in here give me a wee follow, so I'm truly blessed. Thank you. I love it. But yeah, so that's what to look out for.
You know, I think she's now got to the stage where she should have a sponsor.
All in good time.
Yeah.
I like buying my shinies. Honestly, I love it, Melinda. It's cool. Very creative.
Sainty, I know you haven't. Sainty.
I know, Sainty, get on Instagram. Do it.
Sainty.
I'm enjoying the fun.
And man, I'm with you, mate. I'm still trying to learn it. You know, to me, Instagram was just somebody stuck it up, and I never really thought too much about the hashtags and things like that. And I am now seeing the importance, and I suppose that's one of the reasons why over in Vape Lounge, I went with the Instagram, bringing Instagrammers onto YouTube. There was always a double-edged sword to that, which was to try and help Michelle, find out hints and tips on what to do and how to become better at it, and how to make it rock and roll. Anyway, and so far Michelle's totally held back and not sitting like this in her photos.
Apart from live shows, I'm sorry guys. I'm just totally not.
I utilise in my mother-in-law's back garden. There's so many trees and shrubs I can use. I don't do these pictures. I mainly look like a mix of Shrek and Blue Waffle camera knocking.
Oh, Sainty, you're not that bad looking.
Instagram's a bigger community. Instagram is a much bigger. There you go, Michelle. Ian's just followed you.
Oh, thank you, Ian.
Instagram is such a bigger world, and it's a bigger community, and it has its dramas as well. It has, its haters, but the one thing I hate about Instagram, and I really detest it, is these people that follow you to get them to follow you back, and then as soon as you follow them back, they unfollow you because they want to look like they've got hundreds of thousands of follows and not following very many. Some maniac just stick to liking folks' posts and seeing how many followers I can get without posting a single picture.
Hey, do you know what? You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Cindy, that's why a lot of my Instagram posts don't contain my face.
Oh, well, they should, Melinda, because, you've got quite a pretty face as well, so,
Same with me, a lot of mine. But Cindy, I'm an ugly looking twat, and I sit here on camera, and there's nothing, I've seen you on camera, and there's nothing wrong with you.
There's
whatsoever.
Nothing wrong with you either, shushed.
So get your backside onto camera, and start you doing live shows, coming on shows, come on here. Why can't we do the Sainty and Roy show? You want me to do more lives? I'll make the time to be at the Sainty and Roy show. But come you on with me. I know then I know that I'll get people coming into the chat because you're there. I'll get people following me because you're there.
What's I made last year with the
It's just me that likes your phonics
and
one.
the pearls.
I made last year.
I shall have a wee peek.
Someone unfollows me. I do exactly the same. No, you won't. Sainty, you have. If you don't know how by now how much you are admired, respected, and loved, in our vape community, between the bitches. Sainty and Roy show will just be a few hours of Sainty abusing Roy. What's new? There's nothing new with that. He abuses me all the time.
I think the banter will be great.
It's I want to see if I really want to see if Sainty just knock over my pile of stuff. I really want to see if Sainty is just a keyboard warrior or if he can front it in person. I don't think there's a pic of me anywhere. Ian, I'll see if you're about to be in a vape shop at some stage.
I need to come through to Ballymena, hey. Come chill out. That's where I go. See if I feel like I'm having a down day. That's why I love the vape community as well, because I know that there's always one place that I can go for just chat to anyone. Is the vape shop, any vape shop. They're always welcoming over here.
Yeah, I do the unfollow thing. If they unfollow me, I will do the same. I unfollowed a few people after Expo because if I was feeling, I possibly follow some people back there. Oh, that's a challenge, Saint. Why do you think I don't do lives or on the Zoom calls? Because you can't front it. But yeah, I don't do this whole follow unfollow thing. People's follow, if it comes up in my news feed, they're there. If I don't like it, I flash past it. And most of the ones that I do tend to follow and like their pictures and everything else.
I'll go and check.
Yes, she did see your comment about it. Check out my last comment. I rarely talk. Everyone knows I rarely talk.
Alright. Let's see. Email.
It's mad, isn't it? Mad Aussie.
When was it last year? Sometime.
Was it Mad Aussie? Was it? Aussie? No. Aussie.
I can't find it. Oh my god, look at that vape haul. I do love all the vape hauls. Oh, look at all that booze.
A bit of booze. Aussie vaping cycle. There she is. How far back was it? Melinda, how far back? I'm at the bottom of her pictures. Melinda, there's not one with blue shoes.
Bling shoes. I'm trying to find it.
There's none with bling shoes. Right, just tag you in the comments. Righty, folks, thank you very much for your participation tonight.
Oh wait, there it is. Oh, that's cool. Wait, where is it?
Is there more than that?
I know, but look, it's just so pretty.
What is?
All the pearls and the shoes and everything.
There's coils in it.
Yeah, there, look.
Yeah, see them.
Oops, shoot. That is pretty.
All the diamantes.
I need to
Right.
be more creative.
Folks, from me, Roy's Reviews, it's... Do you want to say goodnight first?
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. And
so thank you to everybody in chat for coming in to us. Thank you for Michelle for sitting beside me and talking nonsense for the last God knows how long. So from me, Roy's Reviews, it's good morning, good evening,
haha.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're watching this review because it's not a review. It was a review because I did a review. Can this make a bloopers in?
Yeah.
So
totally.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this live show. Take care, folks. Good night.
Good night. You're all amazing.